Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of the project I'm undertaking. Now you've either stumbled across the link to this video via either the NFTs on Mintable, my Reddit post, or via my website. My guess is you're watching this to get the lowdown on what it is that I'm trying to do because you have found my NFTs on some level at least a tad interesting. Now, if I was to try to explain what it is I'm trying to do, I would say that the Confluence Collection is a project which attempts to make artistic digital representations of individual successful attempts to reach confluence points located on land and documented on the Degree Confluence project. Now, if you don't know what any of that means, basically there are these imaginary latitude and longitudinal lines that cover the Earth's surface in a grid-like pattern and are used as a form of navigation. You might know them better as GPS coordinates. Where these latitude and longitudinal lines meet are called confluence points and are represented by whole numbers. 43,00,00 north by 72,00,00 west is but one example. There are over 64,000 of these points on the Earth's surface, but only 21,000 of them converge on land and are on average located 100 kilometers apart from each other. Now, in 1995, a man by the name of Alex Jarrett liked the idea of visiting a location represented by these round numbers. What would be there? Would other people have recognized this as a unique spot, etc., etc.? So he built a website that allowed people to photograph and document the stories of each successfully reached confluence point, and that site is known as the Degree Confluence Project. So what I'm trying to do is to digitally represent these stories in an artistic format and sell them as NFTs. Why? Well, there are four reasons why. Reason one is that I want to showcase these stories in a different format and try to bring it to life in a new medium. Reason two is that if I'm successful in bringing this to life in a new medium, then it might be possible to incentivize people to try and reach new unreached confluence points, documented and receive a percentage of the sale of any future artistic works based on a successful visit. As of 2021, only a third of all confluence points on land had been documented. Now, reason three is one of the impediments to the project. One of the major reasons I wish to artify some of the visits is that a lot of the photographs of the reached confluence points are actually just not very good. Taking a photo of a reached point seems in many cases, not all however, more of an afterthought. These locations have a significance and many will often never be reached again. If we can incentivize higher quality photos, and I'm not just talking about pixel rates here, then I think that would be a significant benefit. Now, the last reason, and probably the most important, is that I believe these stories have a value. I believe these ventures in today's new emerging digital frontier have an unappreciated value in real dollar terms. The value we are talking about here is not necessarily based on the ability of someone to create an interesting looking piece of art or a computer code to cough up things like CryptoPunks. Now, because I believe this idea has value, however, it does not necessarily mean this idea that I have has any value to anyone. It could at the end of the day be completely worthless. So I'm approaching this whole idea less from an artistic point of view and more from, say, a startup or a new business point of view. You see, in a startup, there's a cheesy saying, which is that perfection is the enemy of good enough and good enough gets things done. My take on this is that it's better to have a working product now than a perfect product later. The sooner you get in front of what you're trying to do and in front of other people, the sooner you will know if what you're trying to do has any value to anyone. You can spend all your time and all your money making it perfect, but if at the end of the day nobody wants it, then you're ultimately ended up wasting your time. I'm saying all this because if you have seen my NFTs, been to my website and are currently watching this video, you will probably have the opinion that everything is, well, rather average. While this isn't quite by design, there is a point to it, and that point is, well, the point is a starting point. I have started it. You are seeing the fruits of that starting point, and from here, if it has any value to others, you will see improvements on all fronts. I'm simply not going to dedicate all my time making something perfect just because I think it has legs. I need feedback. I need to know what people think. I need to build off that feedback. This will be a work in progress and always will be. So that's basically all I have to really say about that. There are details which I think are important to add, most of which will be on my website or not, so I won't go into great detail here. But a couple of things is that there will be artistic versions where each piece will follow the same artistic format. The current version, version 1, I talk about in further detail in the version 1 video link below. Also, every Confluence point is unique in a variety of factors, from its difficulty to reach to the quality of the pictures taken, the story written, when it was visited, how many people have visited, etc, etc, etc. So for every piece I do, I give a video breaking down the variables. Below is a link to a video explaining the first Confluence point I ever turned into an NFT. And the last thing I'll say is quickly that there will only ever exist one copy per Confluence point visited. So even if a Confluence point has been visited multiple times, there will only be one NFT created and will be one of one.